Welcome to session 10 of Growing Leaders. This session is called Continuing Well.
And congratulations, you've made it to the final session, and we know just how much hard work has gone into this.
Our aims are to give thanks for what God has done through the course. Secondly, to identify the next appropriate step beyond the course for each participant. And then thirdly, we want to pray for the leaders within the course and in the wider life of the church. The background to this is that we want to ensure that we end a course like this well, and then to look to the future and all that it might hold. So you'll find in the Leader's Guide a mix of activities to summarise what's been going on and a range of different ways to give thanks for all that God's been doing. Be sure that as you approach this session, that you conclude with an act of worship and prayer for the leaders, in that sense commissioning them for what lies ahead. We've found that this has been a really significant occasion and one which seals some of the learning that God has been doing in their lives and helps them to prepare for what is yet to come. There are a range of practical things we'll need to think through as well, so let's ask Lorraine for some of her pointers in this area. Lorraine, how did you approach session 10?
Well, as you're coming to the end of the course, it is really important to celebrate with everybody about the hard work that they've put in over the last 10 months. So be creative, be generous, and each time I've run this course, I've set up a meal beforehand and planned the session much earlier so that when people come, they are spoiled with lovely food and lovely drink, of course. And it's a chance for people to say goodbye. So there's lots to prepare in this session, and not only the food, but also the certificates, photos if you're giving them away. So don't leave the preparation if you can to the last minute.
And I imagine some people will get to this point in the course and think, oh, at last, it's finished, it's the end. But actually, we're trying to encourage them to continue well beyond Growing Leaders. What have you found has helped with that?
Well, there is more material on the website, and we did, with a number of our courses, run these termly sessions with them, and it just kept that whole growing personal development in leadership going forward from there.
Excellent. Thanks, Lorraine. Well, may I offer a few thoughts as we come to the end of the course? Growing Leaders is not something that we want to encourage churches just to do once, because it's meant to be a part of an ongoing strategy for leadership development. Our hope is that through the course, others will be being developed in leadership, and the course will become appropriate for them. So think now at this stage about when might you run your next one, and who might lead it, and who might you want to be on it. It's also good to let people know some of the stories that come out of the course. You may want to invite some of the participants to share those within a church context when you gather on a Sunday. And there's an act of commissioning in the pack that you can use as part of a church service to actually commission these people into the particular leadership roles that they're now in. Thank you so much for all that you've put into running Growing Leaders. We'd love to have any ideas you have about how it can be improved. Send them in to us and we'll add them to the website so others can benefit from them. I want to end by reflecting on why we put the course together. For us as Christians, leadership is not an end in itself. It's a means to a greater end. That greater end is enabling the church to serve God's purposes in His world, so that the church may help children, young people, adults of every age come to know Christ and the life-transforming relationship with Him He offers. So that as a church we may serve our communities well, caring for the disadvantaged and the poor, seeking to put right injustice, making a difference. So that as a church we're concerned about global issues of justice and poverty, about the environment, that we may see what God wants us to do in those areas. Leadership for us as Christians is never about us. It's always about what God wants to do through us. And we hope that this course will enable the leaders you've been working with not only to be led more by Jesus, but ultimately to lead more to Jesus.